My name is Emily Paull. This is my new book, The Distance Between Dreams. It is a historical fiction love story about two young people who come from different sides of the tracks. We've got Winston, who is a working class boy who loves to draw. He rides his bike all around Fremantle. He's got his head in the clouds. And then one day he meets Sarah Willis, who is the daughter of a man who sells cigarettes and has a lot of money, and his world has changed forever. Just to tell you a little bit about my background, I'm a librarian. I am an avid reader. I have degrees in creative writing, history, editing and publishing, and a librarianship degree. And I specialise in something called Reader's Advisory, which means that I love recommending books to people. So if anyone ever needs a book recommendation, please let me know. Of course, my first recommendation is going to be that you read this one from now on. But I've wanted to be a writer ever since I was little. I actually used to have a pretend publishing house in my bedroom. I had a little suitcase that I would carry around, and I used to bind all the stories that I wrote using a binding machine my mum had bought for her university work. So sorry about that, Mum. I think I used a lot of your resources. It was my goal to write a book in every genre, but historical fiction was always the genre I came back to. It's the genre I love to read, it's the genre I love to write, and I think that's because the research is so interesting. In 2008, when I was doing my final year of high school, I was studying Australian history, and I was also planning a family trip to Japan with my parents and my two siblings. And I came across an album by a band called Search Rescue called The Compound. This was back in the days of MySpace, so the only way I could listen to this album was to go on that band's MySpace page and listen to it. But every track on there suggested to me a chapter in a story. So I started planning out a book. It was based on what I was studying in school as well, so that provided the historical background. And it was actually a murder mystery. In that original version of the book, the Sarah character in the book was Winston's great love, but she had disappeared, and he was trying to solve the mystery of where she had gone. In the 17 years since that moment, a lot has changed about the plot of the book. Sarah is very much alive and present on the page, but the original plan for the book is still there, and I still get this little tingle up my spine when I listen to that album. The other thing that inspired this book was going to the Fremantle War Museum, the Army Museum over in Burt Street, and some of the amazing dioramas that they had set up commemorating the lives lost on the Thai-Burma Railway. If you haven't been to see that museum and those dioramas, I highly recommend going and having a look. The volunteers there do an amazing job, and there's lots to learn.